Taurus. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. I hope you all are doing well. This is for September the 4th through the 10th. We're going to start with your smoke stories, and then we'll get into the tarot here. So I already kind of started with this, and then I didn't hit record. So there you go. We're already starting with this, and you know, there was something coming through where you all, it was kind of feeling like you all could have had some sort of sting, some sort of burn, and then the smoke was kind of splitting there. So yeah, I mean, it could be physical. Maybe you are getting checked out and something is sorted here, but it could also be, you know, really it's feeling more like a metaphor for something, you know, like maybe you have felt kind of burned in a situation and maybe that is clearing up. Maybe you're parting ways with someone who has burned you here. The letter L could be significant, the letter H, G, J. I do feel like for some of you, if you've been kind of feeling like there's been a spiral happening for you, or if you've kind of been feeling like you're off track, I do think that there's a grounding energy here. Like we were moving into this spiral and then things felt more grounded. It kind of evened out there for a sec. So it does feel like, you know, things go back to normal, or you kind of feel more grounded again, feel more like yourself again here, Taurus. Just feel more steady, stable, secure. I do wonder if there might be something coming in that's helping you to feel steady and stable and secure. Maybe there's been a period of uncertainty. Maybe there's been some sort of loss, or maybe you've taken like a financial hit, and it could be that things are stabilizing, getting sorted out. It does feel like this energy of balance. You've got two streams here. I'm wondering if for some of you this could be an additional stream of income. That could be the case here for some of you, Taurus. I do think as well, you know, something that's coming through here with the smoke is the security that you're feeling could be on an emotional level as well. It's not just the financial thing. I do think a person's kind of coming into your space, and it's odd. I feel like they're making something known that you've not even really asked for. It's sort of like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm here for you, or I'm not upset with you. There's something like that coming through. I'm not sure why. Somebody's wanting you to know that they're not upset with you. So that energy is coming through here pretty strongly. It feels like something is circling back. Fixed sign, possibly Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo. Yeah, somebody's circling back. They feel like there's something that wasn't said. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here for you, Taurus, in your smoke story. We're going to go ahead and get into the tarot, and I'm like, you see the circle right here. It's like the wheel energy, like the wheel of fortune. You may not have seen the circle, but there was a circle there. And, you know, sometimes when that energy shows up, there are steps as well. Taurus, some of you, when it comes to the circle, it's like something circling back around. But some of you, when it comes to the steps, that energy, it's almost like somebody could be clearing something up with you, hoping that it leads to something. So it's like, on one hand, you could start to feel like this is closure, this is clarity, but they're hoping that it earns them something with you. So I don't know why it's coming through in that way, but we are about to get into the tarot here. I'm using the Millennial Tarot for anybody who might be interested. It's a super fun deck, so I love it. We're going to go ahead and get into it here, see what we got going on. And then I think that the one that I'm going to be clarifying with, I believe, is called Universal, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Okay, let's get some more out here for Taurus. Some of you, there could be a person here who feels like, you know, if that's such an odd message. There could be a person here who, if you're like posting pictures or something of that nature, they could feel like you're posting thirst traps. Like that's what the card says, is thirst trap. Like they could be feeling like you're trying to get their attention. So something's odd here. Somebody feels like everything you're doing is for them, like you're putting on for them. So that's very odd. But you have the Nine of Thoughts, the Nine of Swords. It says Sunday Scaries on here. This is a card of stress. It is a card of anxiety. And we already kind of saw that, where you could have been feeling like something was not steady, not stable. But I do think it's securing. We even have the wheel right here, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I feel like the wheel is turning for a lot of you here when it comes to this energy showing up, okay? It does say Bitcoin investment, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that this is Bitcoin. This shows up when cycles are closing, new ones are beginning. It shows up when there's a return happening, like, you know, if there's a person returning or an opportunity returning. But, you know, it does often show up for like unexpected changes and things of that nature. And then we get this Seven of Feels energy, Seven of Cups, okay? That's the card that says thirst trap, but it is a card that can represent confusion, illusion, temptation, fantasy, but it can also be, you know, doors opening. And we also have this Ace of Thoughts, which is the Ace of Swords, right? And so when it comes to this, it says vision board on it. I do think a lot of you, your vision is changing, Taurus, when it comes to what you want for yourself, you know, but I will say too, I feel like a fog is clearing when it comes to this energy here, because Seven of Cups is confusion, Ace of Swords is clarity, right? So it's like the wheel is turning and a fog is clearing. We'll see what's happening with that, but there is a person who I think is really overestimating their importance in your world here. They're feeling like everything you do, you're doing it for them so they can see. So that's very odd coming through. We have the Knight of Feels, which is the Knight of Cups. This is Pisces energy. It says ally. Yeah, again, I feel like there's a person who's kind of coming to you here, Taurus, and they're saying, I wanted to let you know that I'm here, or I wanted to let you know that I'm not mad at you. There's something like that coming through here. And I'm not sure why it's coming through. Somebody might be stressed, feeling like you think that they're closed off to you and they want to let you know that they're not. We have Judgment showing up here. It says quarter life crisis. But, you know, in reality, this is a card that just genuinely represents like an awakening, realizations happening. And yeah, it could happen at a quarter life crisis, I suppose. But, you know, it's also this energy that just represents sort of waking up to things. This is Scorpio and Aries energy. It's showing up right underneath that Seven of Cups. So like I said, I feel like a fog is clearing. So this realization does feel like it's happening on your end, but it could also be happening on another person's end where, say, for example, maybe you were posting things, or maybe you were like telling the world, and you know, like say for example, if this has to do with coworkers, right? Maybe you're telling coworkers like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm going here, I'm doing that, and this person may have felt like you were doing this to get their attention, right? And now you're not really saying much, you're just kind of doing what it is that you do, and they could be wondering like, wait, maybe that's for real. Maybe Taurus genuinely is just not caring about me at this time. You know, maybe Taurus is just living their life. And so I do think that for some of you, that energy is coming through here. You have the Knight of Vibes underneath the Ace of Thoughts. Do you have a life coach, or are you a life coach? There's something coming through here where I feel like your vision is going to be more emphasized between the 4th and the 10th. There's something about this because underneath the Ace of Swords, you have the Knight of Vibes, which is the life coach card. This is the Knight of Wands. On one hand, I do feel like this is someone that, you know, I do think that you could have envisioned a future with this person at one point in time, but you don't anymore. But I do feel like they're coming through. They could be coming through here. Knight of Wands often comes up when somebody's like rushing in. Maybe this is an air sign or a Sagittarius, but when it comes to this energy here, I do feel like a lot of you, maybe you're becoming your own life coach, right? You're like, I need to pull it together. This is the vision I have for myself. Let me figure out how I get there, right? What's the first step? Let me take it. So I do think there could be stress surrounding that, but again, it does feel like this is a time where you're stabilizing, things are becoming more balanced. What do we have here for Taurus in regards to this spread for September the 4th through the 10th? We have the Hermit, Virgo energy. This can be isolation or withdrawal. And, you know, again, I do kind of get this energy of somebody who has been isolated or withdrawn coming through. But I also feel like this is you kind of popping out with changes. You know, you're no longer just talking about it, you're doing it. And so I think that is key here for a lot of you, is to just kind of quit with the stress, quit with the going down this mental list of like, well, what if this happens and what if that happens and blah, blah, blah. It's about taking the action towards it. What else do we have here? The Chariot, Cancerian energy. Some of you might have a Cancer, Virgo, or Pisces coming through here. They're rolling through and they're like, hey, I'll help you with this. I'll help you with that. You know, do you need this? Do you need that? And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. It does feel like somebody's kind of invasive. They're kind of getting up in your space a little bit. Some of you could be looking into getting a new vehicle or trading your vehicle in this time frame. What else do we have going on here for Taurus in regards to this spread for September 4th through the 10th? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I feel a lot of movement for you all. You know, over top of that Seven of Cups, we have the Ace of Wands. And, you know, for those of you who don't remember, that was the card that said thirst trap. You know, even like, I don't feel that it was a thirst trap for some of you here. Maybe it was, but how is that your fault if somebody has a specific reaction to something? You're just living your life, right? So I do think when it comes to the Ace of Wands energy, there is attraction here. So if somebody feels like you're posting thirst traps or whatever, it's probably because it's working. You know, you have the Six of Swords showing up for the Judgment card. I do think whatever this realization is that you're having, it's pushing you forward. Some of you, this could be some news coming in as well, like a decision has been made and you're able to, you know, you move in on this day, or you get the keys here, or this is the interview date, or, you know, this is the start date, right? It's giving me that vibe here where Judgment could be showing up as like a call to, oh wow, this is real, you know, this is real. So that is giving me really positive energy there, Taurus. I think for a lot of you, that news that's coming in is exactly where that wheel does start to turn and some confusion starts to fade and things feel more secure and solid and stable. What else do we have here for Taurus in this time frame regarding the spread? Ace of Swords energy. Okay. And the Knight of Wands. That's interesting because that's your overall. So we have the Queen of Cups showing up here to clarify the Ace of Swords. So Queen of Cups is somebody who's balancing her logic and her emotion. You can see her open shell up here, right? And you can see like the water is all around her. She's got a cup here, but it's closed. So it's like she does have emotion, but it is contained, right? So I feel like for a lot of you, maybe your emotions were leading the way for a while and it was causing a lot of fear. And, you know, I do think maybe it was causing some wrong turns here or some bad turns or late turns, whatever the case may be. But I feel like you are finally balancing out, like I said, with this Queen of Cups energy showing up here. She's not letting her emotions guide the way. She's acknowledging them, right? She is acknowledging them. She's looking at them, but she's keeping them contained. And, you know, so she can hold her spot here. You have the Nine of Swords clarifying the Knight of Vibes. I feel like somebody's stressing you out. It feels like this person that's coming in is who is stressing you out here, Taurus. There's a person that's in your space. Even if this isn't like a past lover, I feel like there's a person who's coming through and they're like, what do you need me to do, Taurus? What do you want? What do you know, it's giving me weird vibes of somebody kind of stressing you out. Some of you, this could be like a person kind of micromanaging in the workplace here. Let's see what else we've got here for you, Taurus, in regards to this spread. Nine of Cups. This is wishes being fulfilled, spirit having your back. You see all the cups surrounding that figure. Really good energy. Joy, pleasure, wishes being fulfilled. We have the Ten of Wands showing up, okay? This can be carrying a burden, carrying a weight, which we already kind of see that energy here of something stressing you out. But the star is showing up as well. This is healing, renewal, rebirth, faith, wishes being fulfilled. So yeah, I do think that you're pushing through a really tough cycle here, Taurus. You have the Emperor on the bottom. You're taking care of things. I feel like you are, if you've been in this space where you've not been wanting to take action on certain things, I feel like that's changing. This is the energy of you feeling fired up, you know, and I feel like it's because the wheel has turned on some level for you. I'm telling you, like there's been some confusion about which direction to go in, and I feel like now that fog is clearing, like it's lifting, you know, and the wheel is finally turning, and I think you're following it, you're hopping on it, you're not missing your ride here, right? That's the energy that I get for a lot of you. Some of you could have a Cancer, Aries, Virgo, or Aquarius coming towards you, and I'm telling you what, I feel like there's a person here who's going to stress you out, and they look like they're returning, trying to get something from you, like they're trying to do something for you, but there's this unspoken agreement, unspoken contract in their head here of, if I do this for Taurus, Taurus will do this for me, or they'll owe me one, right? It's giving some odd energy there, so I would really be careful with that. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here for you, Taurus, for the 4th through the 10th. I hope that this was helpful. Don't forget that I am reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements. Taurus, I also have personals open right now, so details are down below for anybody who is interested. But yeah, if this is where we part, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and hopefully I'll see you next time.